Calling and bulolo cool with whatever we do. Jioni safu no la with whatever we do. Hale yi demunyu school. Nyepamne ne kudlukula. Nyepangi ragala gena. Nyepamne ne kudlukula. Ibuloke nongoto ni beti sola. Ibuloke dato ni betoto.
Mingi Congo.
Lamin.
Na?
Lamin te jibe norin te nyame Lamin.
Kabana wulo kono.
Wulo kono nyinte mo Lamin.
Pabilenki.
Muna ngata afamole.
Haina.
Ngata. Ngoto le. Fabrama.
Mingi. Baba nyola.
Ngoto le Fabrama.
Namu jumala kan kuma diteng.
Fabrama.
Jumala mu.
Ndele bare muso.
Lunda mana. Jamani mbere.
Alindo ko.
Jamani.
Bari ngoto man kontande.
Bari jamani fana na ramudu ma man kontan.
Ngoto minaka ngala min de fon filitala. Lamin jibe nori nyaala.
Lamin ila siran sama ne benki. Yala so tol sayni no ko mo lakko momo.
Ngoto.
Nam.
Iterinte yalo ne Lamin hakilo diata bake karambu ngoto. Anu santeng ministry ko di ngole si suwo ko amake ko do holiday la
si bitun
bagona ringa
ala ni ko kede namo balo
ala ni na ko na carte bulo be dabla ala ni je
ngoto
nam
ngoto mon kontan fere
jamani mu nekata
ifika Lamin ki wulo ko no nyintay mon ko do fete malo Lamin nyanta sila la be la moy kala karango
jamani karamol be sorande ne ko fasita wulo ko nako
karambugol ma soron ni ko karambugol soron da amake comme holiday lem ngoto dini ngo nyanta sila la ala karango la moy yamen kamen fue man kontaan andamande
alla nyin kombo courant adanda la kombo len do la jankara mol soron do kamen courant ma rado la kombo e don dol fana na kara mol soron je kara mol soron Lamin ada lo nyino la man tara fe na sokon ala mu nekela
am Lamin ite foi de malon ko lesinol be ke kar radio to
nga fine
e ko nyina di mod Lamin ya mu na fonye
bir kabin mina kan ntambita nteri maning Fatu ntambite la sukala ala diningol bebe siri be la moyka
faru danso am fana tambira jele ni subala la ngaje diningol be jet talanta nen kili warol e be serin jele
sa Lamin fanante ku kili wo ke no la ba Lamin bitaka wulo ko no nyun taymo Lamin
amandara fenela
ite dine ko ni man si yakari lesuno la moy radio to ibalon na
muneka ke afonye ba nyara ni alon
telentel jikot
afonye ba munebe ke
ite balon tel be jikiritel ni man karambe ku kele yaje nata karana mbasa malaya ay tarije
par ñarande kombo courant ho findira kombo ite nara yede ni sonka bay ko Lamin manya tala wulo ko adu karam wolbe so afa nyembe kala
ngoto wole nati bawo ngalle ni Lamin kuntala kombo courant o ka fa me kombo courant asototal wala kinay ko e sisu wo kono bari ni ko e sisu wo kono ibe karangol dike la radio ni telel to hani tele masoto to nyaay man tele soto da bongo bar radio be bulen koto batiri sanga ay si ay alamo
sa do kala nyaadi
ko ta o bulaji
abe kala nyaadi
kamun ke nyaadi
radio abe wala mo la ibe mona falaje
ibe la karandirol kala jele
ti jalle be radio ko men ga karande
ila subjector baby jele baby jele
wala nanga chocho moy fa dan so wolya ngombe tambi kana ngadi ningol jebe ikadum bungo ko kada marmo
ma asototal de
Lamin mala be kara wala de
bari
laftalal ideal on ko inde every year second wala fourth
muna ni ko nde ko folle sinila mba nde le sinilo ne ba
mbasamba foke en koto wole fango yen wulindi yalo famo keta bat yin fana bulata ko ko me yen nati jambi Lamin nyanta karana ntel beji ko be nyineka ya bulay kara wulo kono ta kilar ya bambalo yo be bulaje koto dinni ngoy si ayala le sino la moy radio
wara ka munda kara mo man soro Lamin nyanta kara si so na radio
la sila le ayala le sino
ndale ko korna ko smolon
kilar ya
mo be ngela ko momo sa mi do ni fano kera
mengi bruzo
ndale ko radio la ba rosa no radio ba no bari woro radio ni abe jele ba ngamra do man dembe buljan
yo
nyara nyar fo ko fendi mo la Lamin tayra ba rosa
bara te ku folo ajibe nori nya Lamin tamete ku
teku
bari ngoto famo ke
imagine nani nyambol si zol le keje kisigi man si zol no le kafun ka nyoma bari nyambu kinol ni manya na kafinde ni nambe ko rozor la ga
ngalle limbeta de be nyambo do dilanna
nyara ni ko ridin fennat nyara nata
ngoto bari famo ke da
ngata bungono tambi bungono nyara ngando ko fele ko ke baru nganda ni pelo la dijak
iyo a la
bungono bismillah bisu diara
ye fongo tanka sina dolu tanka koro ta koro ta
Hello, viewers and listeners. Welcome back to another presentation on science. I'm your usual presenter, Mr. Ibrahim Jadama. And as usual, we continue on our presentation on salts. The other time we started salts, but it wasn't completed. So today, I'm sure we are going to complete the topic on salts today and start a fresh topic. Okay, so let's go straight there and see where we stop and continue from there. If you can remember very well, we stopped at type of salts from our previous discussion on salts, type of salts. And today that's where we are going to continue from and proceed. I hope so you are able to remember other important things about salts that we discuss here, most especially the definition of salts and also how to name salts. If you can remember the definition of salts, what is a salt? We said here a salt is a substance that is produced when all or part of the replaceable hydrogen atoms of an acid are replaced by a metal or a metallic radical, example, ammonium radical. That's how we define salt. So don't forget that definition, please, from today. Also look at how to name salts, name of salts. If you can remember that also, how do we name salts? We said here to name salts, we look at two things. We look at the metal that come from the base to form the salt, and also the acid that combine with the metal to form a particular salt. So in naming any particular salts, you name the metal from the base and also the acid that the salt, base combined with. For example, let me just go over that here. Example, we have a salt here called sodium chloride. Sodium chloride. How do you come to name this salt? We simply name this salt by naming the metal first, the metal, which is the sodium, and also the chlorine, which comes from the acid, which is HCl. So therefore, we take the metal from the base and also the chloride from the hydrochloric acid to name this particular salt called sodium chloride. If you take an example of, let's say, calcium carbonate, how do you come to name this salt? It's simple again. We look at the metal. Good. This is the metal part of the salt. Where does this carbonate come from? It comes from the acid. And which acid is that? That acid is carbonic acid. So therefore, we name the metal calcium and the carbonate from the carbonic acid. We have calcium carbonate. So this is how you name a salt, please. So always try to remember these points and master them, please. So today, we are going to look at type of salts already, as I mentioned. So the first type of salts we look at is called normal salt. So remember, salts are also divided into different types based on how they were formed. So we are going to look at that. We have mainly four types of salts. We have what is called normal salt or neutral salt. We have what are called acid salts. We have what are called basic salts. We have what are called double salts. So we are going to look at each of these types of salts with their examples and how they are formed, please. So as you see from the screen there, the first type of salt that we got there is what is called a normal salt. And normal salts are also at times called neutral salts. Why are they given that name, normal or neutral salt? These are simply some of the reasons. Because one, they do not contain a replaceable hydrogen ion. They don't have no hydrogen ion in them again anymore. Two, they are formed by the reaction of a strong acid and a strong base, or a weak acid and a weak base. Good. Before I proceed here, I have to give you this term here so that you may understand what we are coming to talk about here. What is called basicity. Every acid have what is called basicity. And what is a basicity of the acid? Basicity. As you remember here, each acid contains hydrogen atoms or ions. So when you say basicity, this simply means the number of hydrogen atoms in one molecule of an acid. So this is what we basically call as basicity of an acid, the number of hydrogen atoms in one molecule of an acid. Example, we have HCl, we have H2CO3, we have H3PO4. So we have different types of basicity of acids based on the number of hydrogen atoms they contain. If an acid has only one hydrogen atom, it will be monobasic, meaning it has one replaceable hydrogen atom, monobasic. If an acid contains two replaceable hydrogen atoms, we call it as dibasic. And again, if an acid contains three replaceable hydrogen atoms, like phosphoric acid, we call it as what? Tribasic. So now, during the formation of salts, normally, sometimes, all these hydrogen atoms in the acid will be replaced. But at times, all of them are not replaced. Part of it are replaced, part of it remain in the acid. This is why you come to have this different type of salts. So now let's go back to the discussion proper. Normal salts, how are they formed? Or neutral salts? See, they are formed because they do not contain any replaceable hydrogen ions. Like HCl, it doesn't have any replaceable. So in order to understand about type of salts, we have to understand one thing about basicity. What is basicity? We said this is the number of replaceable hydrogen atoms in one molecule of an acid. There are some acids that have only one replaceable hydrogen atom, like HCl, hydrochloric acid. Some acids have two replaceable hydrogen atoms, that is